everyone. Welcome to Pals and Paws live webinar. Today we're going to have story time and be reading Maggie's Second Chance, A Gentle Dog's Rescue by Nancy Furstinger. And actually this is based on a true story of a dog that was rescued in Texas, I believe, that eventually became one of Nancy's dogs. So a personal story by her. And I have our friend Miller here today. He may or may not want to listen to this story, so hopefully he'll settle down and enjoy our story time in just a minute here. So there's Maggie, main character. Maggie waited, watching the door. Her growing belly grumbled. Where was her dinner? Suddenly, the door swung open. Maggie's tail spun as she greeted her family. She nudged her empty bowl. They didn't look at her. The woman picked up a box and left again. Maggie rolled over for a treat, but the boy grabbed a suitcase instead of the dog biscuits. When the door slammed shut, Maggie was alone. So there we see Maggie waiting for the treat and then being left all alone. She was alone as stars twinkled and then dimmed. Logs in the wood stove turned to smoke. Wind trailed icy fingers against the windows. Maggie's big belly ached. She tried scratching at the door. She slurped freezing toilet water. Then she huddled in the bare room. Aw, poor Maggie. Looks like they left her all alone in the house, and now she doesn't know what to do. She has to try and figure out how to provide for herself, and she can't. Maggie heard a key in the door. Had her family returned? No, it was a stranger. When he looked at her, he barked angry words into his phone. Oh no. Later, a man coaxed Maggie into the back of his van with treats. She's gonna deliver puppies any minute, he said to himself. Can't really read it, but I'm guessing that's animal control picking up Maggie since she was left abandoned, really, in her old house. Her old owners just left her there, so they had no choice but to take her to animal control. Maggie entered the place where dogs barked behind bars, and she was taken to a large cage. Last night, Maggie's puppies were born. Or that night, Maggie's puppies were born. She nuzzled 9, but pushed aside 2. Their tiny hearts never made a single beat. Aw, that must have been rough on Maggie to have all those puppies, and not an easy delivery, it sounds like. Busy hands reached into Maggie's cage. They changed newspapers, weighed puppies, and filled bowls. One pair of hands found time to pet Maggie. Oh, so it sounds like some of the workers at animal control or the shelter are taking good care of her, trying to fix her up and get her back to good health and take care of the puppies too. Could you imagine if those puppies had been left all alone in that house? Miller definitely does not approve of this, as you can see. You want to sit down, buddy? You want to sit down? So, sorry, he's kind of blocking my face. That's okay. He's getting excited for the story, that's why. A photographer snapped photos of Maggie and her puppies. The photos appeared in the next day's newspaper. People saw them and adopted Maggie's puppies one by one. Oh, so Miller, you're gonna step on the live stream though. I love you too, bud. So it's hard to see, but it looks like they put an advertisement for Maggie's puppies, and they're getting adopted really quickly because everyone loves puppies. No one glanced at Maggie. She was just another big black dog blending into the shadows. A bit of the wag disappeared from her tail. Oh, so it's hard for her to watch her puppies. Miller found a toy. But it looks like it's really hard for Maggie to watch her puppy say goodbye and for her to be left all alone there at the shelter by herself. She's really been through a lot. As a boy named Jeff recycled newspapers, he saw the photo of Maggie. He tore out the photo and brought it to class. What happens if Maggie doesn't find a home? Jeff asked his teacher. When she told him, he asked, why does this dog have to die just because she doesn't have a home by a certain time? Jeff said if she could have a place to stay long enough, I bet someone would adopt her. Can't we do something? His classmates agreed. They said, Maggie deserves a second chance. Aw, and he's right. It's not fair that some dogs have to be euthanized because there's just not enough homes, and we need more shelters, more places for these animals to go. And this all probably could have been avoided if Maggie's old owners had just called the animal shelter animal control right away. They brainstormed a big plan for an animal shelter. Their teacher arranged for the plan to be discussed at the next town council meeting. She asked permission for the class to attend the meeting. The students and some of their parents came to the meeting and talked about why their town needed an animal shelter. The plan passed. So that's great. It seems like the teacher really understands the students know there's a big need for an animal shelter in their community. And she helped them do the things they needed to get it passed at the town council meeting. So working together can definitely make a difference. News of the decision to build an animal shelter made the front page of the town newspaper. Readers donated land, supplies, and money. Volunteers helped build the shelter. They gave with their hearts and hands. The kids named their shelter Pooch Pals. Then the sign went up on the finished sanctuary. Everyone, Jeff, his teacher, and the whole class, was ready to take a bus to begin the rescue work. So even though they've done all of that preparation getting an animal shelter opened, and we can definitely relate as we have construction going on at our shelter, there's still more to be done. Now they have to work on getting those animals into the shelter and then adopted into homes. So it's a never-ending job for sure. At the pound, a red X had been marked on Maggie's chart. I'm sorry, girl, the woman with kind hands said as she petted Maggie. There simply aren't enough homes for good dogs. She snapped a collar on and leash on Maggie. She swiped at her eyes as she led the dog down the hallway. Jeff raced inside ahead of the others. We've come for the dogs that no one wants. We have a shelter for them. Where's Maggie? The receptionist quickly took the microphone and called into it. Bring Maggie right now. There's a home for her. Aw, so the kids went as fast as they could to go help Maggie and all the other dogs that need rescuing. Maggie whined when she heard her name called. She tugged free of her leash and scampered around the corner towards someone who was shouting, Maggie! And she ran into Jeff's welcoming hug. Aw, and there you can see Maggie running to Jeff so that they can be together. So, what a sweet story, don't you think, Miller? Hopefully you guys can see him. I know he's been popping in and out here and there, but there's actually a really nice page at the end here with a little bit more information about adopting a dog and about Maggie's story. So I'll just read that really quick for you guys, for you and Miller. So it says, adopting a dog. If you are searching for a dog to be your newest family member, please look for that special dog at your local animal shelter or rescue group. There you will find a furry friend like Maggie, who is waiting to join you on a lifelong adventure. When you adopt a dog, you'll be saving 2 lives, the life of your new pet and the life of another homeless dog who will fill the empty spot in the shelter. Your dog, you sweetie, your dog will have been neutered or spayed at the shelter, but if not, help stamp out pet overpopulation by having your female or male neutered. The simple, safe surgery will prevent your dog from becoming a parent and adding more dogs who need homes to your community. So definitely that was another lesson in Maggie's second chance, that her old owners never got her spayed and neutered, and then she ended up having puppies. And it looks like they left her behind probably because they were moving, but it might also have been because they couldn't care for all those puppies. So definitely not the responsible thing to do. It could have all been prevented if she had been spayed beforehand. And I bet the animal controller, that new animal shelter, would get her spayed before she's adopted. And then it also says this book is based on a true story. Dalehart Animal Wellness Group and Sanctuary was begun in 2003 by four fourth grade students who were upset about dogs being euthanized in their town. They went to their teacher, Diane Troll, who explained that with 7 puppies and kittens born for every one human, there were not enough homes to go around. And that's very true. Pet overpopulation is a problem pretty much everywhere in this country. Their tiny Texas pound was killing 700 dogs each year. The students refused to accept this tragedy. Determined, the students and their teacher went to the city council and convinced the members to set up a no-kill shelter. Diane Troll, her husband Mark, and their family worked with children aged 9 to 18 to run the sanctuary, as they do today. With very limited resources, the children began to pick up dogs and cats from the pound, have them checked by local vets, vaccinated, and most important, spayed or neutered. Dogs, DAWGS stands for Dalehart Animal Wellness Group and Sanctuary. Like a dog, cool way to spell dog. Has found homes for more than 5,000 needy animals. The dog's kids believe all dogs are equal and each one has a special gift to give. And as you can see by how excited and goofy Miller has been this whole time, that's definitely true, right, buddy? The author will donate a percentage of her royalties to dogs. And it also says Maggie is a real dog rescued by the author. So after Maggie gave birth to, oh my goodness, 15 puppies, um, her owners advertised her as free to a good home. Neighbors brought her home, but a few months later they moved, leaving Maggie behind in an empty house. The author rescued this Labrador Shepherd mix, intending to foster her until a forever home was found. Unfortunately, her new owner flunked Fostering 101, and Maggie was the dog she never knew she was searching for. Renamed Jolly for her cheerful disposition, she joined the author's 2 rescue dogs and a warren of house rabbits. So that's a nice little happy ending based on Maggie's true story. The author ended up rescuing her, and like it said, every dog has a special story and has something special to give, and they're just looking for that home or family that can give it to them. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Storytime, and we'll see you next week, Wednesdays at 5. Say bye, Miller.